Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to join you in welcoming colleagues back from recess. Right Honourable Speaker, quick issues for me to thrash out. Yesterday, some of our colleagues were arrested and are still in jail, together with other citizens. The mentioned colleagues are Honourable Hassan Chirumira from Katikamu South, the Honourable Charles Tebandeke, Bale County, the Honourable Francis Zaake from Mitiana Municipality, and other citizens. They are in Luzira as we speak, simply because they went to attend a regular press conference at their party's political headquarters, for the avoidance of doubt, the National Unity Platform headquarters. Honourable Speaker, I think it would be a good thing for government to help us understand the seeming double standards there are, because several other political entities keep operating, but for some, it doesn't get to happen, to the extent that even members of parliament who are going to their party headquarters to attend a press conference, together with other people, get to be bundled up and roughed up, and they're in jail, apparently, for going to attend an unlawful assembly. I think it would be good that government helps us understand that matter. Secondly, Right Honourable Speaker, this Parliament was approached by government to rationalize a couple of entities. And this Parliament went through an entire process to do that. The reasoning by government was twofold. One, there's duplication of roles. There's an entity handling certain matters, another entity doing the same work, so duplication. The other reason given by government was that it was important that we save taxpayers' money. Parliament, in many respects, listened, because it made sense, logically, politically, and otherwise. And so many entities were rationalized by this House. Right Honourable Speaker, you chaired some of those sessions. What's baffling, though, is we seem to make one step forward and then two steps forward. Backwards. Thank you. One step forward, two steps backwards. Right Honourable Speaker, recently we saw government coming up with a new unit.
Just Honourable Ssenyonyi. Honourable colleagues, today allow free sitting for colleagues who are standing. Please. Honourable Miyingo, let's continue, Honourable.
Right Honourable Speaker, we have seen government recently coming up with a new unit which they have called the State House Revenue Intelligence and Strategic Operations Unit that was created to fight corruption in URA. We ask, is this not duplication? Because we have several anti-graft fighting entities. Why not empower them as opposed to creating a new entity? This might not be a creature of statute as is the case with others, but it's a full-fledged unit that's meant to have operational funds. It's meant to have a structure. Why? Government needs to help us understand, because you came here and told us, let's rationalize entities, cut down on expenditure. But you're creating new entities to do work that, in our view, should be executed by already existing entities, which we should be empowering. If we think they're not doing good enough work, if we think some of the people they are in are not competent or whatever the case might be, throw them out, replace them with those who are qualified. Why? Still on this issue, Right Honourable Speaker, the person who was appointed to lead this unit, a one David Kalemera, is a convict of tax fraud, Right Honourable Speaker. I ask, are we setting a thief to catch a thief? And Right Honourable Speaker, I want to lay on table a judgment, because these are not my words. When I say he's a convict of tax fraud, I want to lay on table a judgment by a court of law in Uganda. This is Uganda versus Kalemera David and others, in which Justice Kidudu convicted them for tax fraud. And this is So I'm laying this on the table, right, Honorable Speaker. This is the person that's been appointed to fight corruption. He was convicted for corruption, for tax fraud. It does not make sense at all, right, Honorable Speaker. People are saying I should...
Maybe the full citation.
That's all right. I just wanted to redeem Parliament's time, but since you have allowed, right, Honorable
Just
Speaker...
the case number.
Republic of Uganda, in the High Court of Uganda, Anti-Corruption Court at Kololo, criminal case number 7 of 2018. And the parties, Uganda being the prosecutor versus 1, Kalemera David, as accused number 1, accused number 2, Semanda Ian Paul, accused number 3, Kazibwe Ronald. And this is the judgment of court that convicted these people. So somebody who was convicted of corruption has now been appointed to fight corruption. It does not make sense, right, Honorable Speaker. And, right, Honorable Speaker,
Just as we conclude.
These are the kind of things that annoy the citizens of Uganda who don't think we are serious about the fight against corruption. Because when we are appointing corrupt people, according to court, to fight corruption, people get agitated. Finally, right, Honorable Speaker, and this one I'll request that it be addressed by yourself, right, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Ssenyonyi, just a
On
minute.
procedure, the rules are very clear.
No, just a minute. Honorable colleagues, when I'm chairing the House, never access a microphone without my permission. Please. Please. And why I'm emphasizing this, the people of the Hansard are complaining. 4 people are speaking in a microphone and they fail to get a record of who is on the floor. So, and anything spoken from here must be on record. So I request that one we keep, so that we make it very easy for our record to look cleaner and right.
Finally, right, Honorable Speaker, the other 2 issues we are seeking for government to clarify, but this particular matter, final one, I request yourself, because as far as I am concerned, it should be clarified by office, right, Honorable Speaker. There seems to be double standards within this, our institution called Parliament of Uganda, right, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker, last week there are some citizens of Uganda that came to Parliament with placards protesting against one of our colleagues, the Honorable Theodore Ssenyonyi. They came the first day, and he's present in the House. They came the first day, they were ushered into Parliament nicely with their placards. Then they came the following day. They were still ushered in, right, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker, you received them on behalf of the Speaker. You asked that a few of them come to meet you from the group which came to Parliament. And some of us were happy that this Parliament is able to be accessed decently by people who are saying we are peacefully protesting. Today, right, Honorable Speaker, there are some young people who, as we have been witnessing, have been coming to Parliament in similar fashion with placards, marching, saying they have concerns about corruption in Parliament and elsewhere, and they were coming in similar fashion, like those ones, to come and raise their concerns here in Parliament before us and before you, right, Honorable Speaker. Many of them have been bundled up, they have been beaten up, many are in jail. And so I thought, the same way, right, Honorable Speaker, you received those who were protesting, apparently, against one of our honorable colleagues, you would receive them in similar manner, because they're saying they have concerns as citizens of this country, concerns about Parliament of Uganda, concerns about many government entities, concerns about corruption, right, Honorable Speaker. I don't know why they were not accorded the same kind of treatment, the same kind of respect, because they were not coming to fight. They did not have daggers, knives, or whatever the case might be. They had placards similar to the other one. So I thought, right, Honorable Speaker, you would help us understand. I don't know whether it was an order from your office, maybe not, but at least I saw the other ones, you received them. For these ones, it has not happened. Why, right, Honorable Speaker? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And I was saying I. Just allow me to first clarify on that, and I put the record straight. And I was supposed to meet with Honorable Ssenyonyi today, but my day became long. I haven't called you honorable. Apologize. But I had called you earlier on, saying I need to meet you today. What happened the day when some people entered here in Parliament, 12th July, for record purposes, is not something which had been sanctioned by the leadership of Parliament. The people who came and entered, I would say it was a lapse because we had not guided security of Parliament very well on how, listen to me, yes, on processes of receiving petitions in Parliament. Now, when the same people, because that day the Speaker was not in, the Deputy Speaker was not in, okay? And usually what happens, the security contacts whoever is in. If the Speaker is in, they will contact the Speaker. If the Speaker is not in and the Deputy is in, they will contact the Deputy. The same people returned on Monday. And when they returned on Monday, I was contacted by security that there are people, they have again returned, that they had written, now they've again returned to bring a petition. I instructed security that that's not how we operate. I told security, please, let them go outside Parliament, and 3 people, I said 3 people can bring and present a petition. And I said, I don't need cameras to receive a petition because our rules of procedure are very clear on how we process petitions. And indeed, they were complaining, saying I've not listened to them, but they chose 3 people who brought a petition, and it's in my office, and it's one of the reasons as to why I wanted to meet the Honorable Ssenyonyi, because I want to share it with him as I come here to guide on how such a petition should be processed. So, we are sorry over what happened on the 12th, that lapse, but our procedure for receiving petitions is clear. Number 2, on what's happening, which the Honorable Ssenyonyi is referring to, I have, the institution of Parliament has not received any notification, formal notification, of anyone who wants to bring a petition regarding the issues they are talking about in public. I will not move from my chair to move around to start looking for people, to soliciting for petitions from the public. When we are a formal institution that has formal structures, I request if there is anyone, the address of Parliament is known. If there is anyone who wants to bring a petition to Parliament, let them write to the leadership of Parliament. We shall guide them on how to bring the petition. And we shall receive it if it's coming. But now, me, if you want to bring a petition to Parliament, you write to police. You don't inform me. I also go read through news and all that. It becomes difficult for me to arrange for you. Otherwise, Parliament is open to receiving any petition that would come. That's why you provide in our rules on how to process this. So we've not blocked out anyone, my brother, the Honorable George. Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker.
You'll find guiding on a point of order on matters of how people interpret situations becoming difficult. To her, they had the intention. To you, they didn't. Now, I think both of you are correct. Because each one of you, you're entitled to your own opinion and interpretation. Because these are issues of opinions. These are issues of opinions. So, right on the Prime Minister concludes. Attorney General, you wanted to add on something?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, I think, Right Honorable Speaker, you have ruled quite well. And since they are both correct, the judge where the matter is will be the final arbiter. I beg to submit.
Prime Minister, that's closed. We got URA issue. Let's not reopen
That's where
that
I'm
one.
going,
Yeah.
Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker and honourable colleagues, everybody here is aware that the President has got executive powers to appoint. He has executive powers, I repeat, to appoint any person. Because I've seen him even appoint some members of the opposition. Yes, so I believe this question is not for me. It will go to the appointing authority.
Now, colleagues, no, right on, Prime Minister, don't bother yourself.
Secondly, honorable members, I want to I need your protection, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, I want you to also appreciate that people change. Change is a fact of life. And so, people can change and be good people. Secondly, if you want to catch somebody, you send there somebody who is knowledgeable.
Now, honorable colleague, yes, honorable colleague, what's very critical is that we have sectoral committees which handle this matter. I would really want to leave it to the sectoral committee in charge of the sector, which will be looking at the impact of the creation of such offices, whether we've made, it has helped us to make more progress, or whether it has not added any value, because in the end we budget for it from here. Okay? So I would say let the sector committee interest itself on this matter. Honorable Mwijute.
Speaker, the procedural matter I'm raising is in relation to the extraordinary deployment and presence of the army in Kampala City and the rest of the country. Right Honourable Speaker, I am wondering whether we are at war. While coming here, I met very many members manned by the army, and so my concern, Right Honourable Speaker, is whether the police has been overwhelmed, so that the police has taken over the mandate of the army has taken over the mandate of the police, or two, whether somebody has declared a state of emergency. And so, as people's representatives, Right Honourable Speaker, we need government to brief us on what is happening in the country so that we know. Because as I talk now, the members are all over, people are running away, we are surrounded, so we want to know. Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker.
I hope you are surrounded by colleagues here. Yes. Now, Jackson, is it on the same? Honorable Chivungi?
Yeah, Right Honourable Speaker, House is the House of Representatives of the people. Our cardinal fundamental role is to sniff out what concerns Ugandans and unflinchingly come to this House and debate those matters. In the whole of East Africa, not only in Uganda but in the neighboring Kenya, young people are raising their voices. They are speaking boldly and acting like so. The crisis why they are speaking is that they feel is that their issues don't feature on the agendas and on the order paper of houses of representatives. Therefore, for us to treat this matter and give it the weight it deserves and give it justice and create a tempo where voices can be heard. Because democracy has no meaning if those who have an opportunity to speak don't speak the concerns of those that have the responsibility, have concerns to speak. My appeal to you, Right Honourable Speaker, is that this, what is going on, and Parliament sits in these extraordinary circumstances, surrounded by forces that ordinarily go to war. Therefore, it requires this House to find space and adequate time, whether it has who, for us to come here and debate the concerns of those people boldly. Otherwise, for us to cross over and laugh over them, one day they will overwhelm those members. They will overwhelm those forces and descend to our homes, to our places of work, and find us everywhere on the street and say, we no longer represent them. I want to appeal to you. And when I appeal to you, I think this is the special place for you. Because you and me, Right Honorable Speaker, come from that kind of activism. We've been there. We know what it takes. And we've been beaten together with you over the years. But we deserve to be heard. So I want to appeal to you to find adequate space and house this matter and find adequate time and we debate the...
Thank you. Now, Honorable, do you one thing? And Honorable Chivumbe, you heard me properly. I want to go around soliciting all these views. If people are saying they had a petition, they had a document, nothing I've seen. The moment it comes, we shall see a way of managing it, and we shall allow all these issues. But also in the committees, you always go through all these issues. But Honorable colleagues, you are deviating me. I have an order, please. I have an order paper which I issued out. Matters of national importance, Honorable Bataringaya. Honorable Sesku, I'll give you time, don't mind. Honorable Bataringaya.
Yes, Katonga Bridge is on Masaka Road, 80 kilometers from Kampala. And it is an international trade.
Tomorrow, the Business Committee of Parliament is sitting. And Honorable colleagues, tomorrow the Business Committee of Parliament is sitting. And one of the issues we are considering on our business is the State of the Nation address, where you find that all these issues we are raising, the President touched them, and we are going to have a debate for 2 days regarding these issues. It's a very good platform, other than coming in piecemeal under procedure. Because even procedure, we are limited under procedure. So I would request, honorable colleagues, you will have all the time to debate these issues very, very soon. And all of them are going to come up. So I don't think it's helpful for us to start exchanging with one another. Number two, Honorable Mwezo, please, colleagues, you know, there is something which I sit down in my chair, I go in my bed, and it pains me. And what pains me is how colleagues have gone for each other. And this brings me, and no, Arion is my brother. And this brings me to a point of worry. A point of worry on us, honorable colleagues, and how we have gone for each other at such a critical time. And it brings me to an African saying that when brothers fight to death, strangers inherit their wealth. You are fighting each other to death. Others are going to inherit your presence here. And this does not mean that we shouldn't check each other. But it surprises me the level of mistrust that has gone on between colleagues. I've remembered I have been going to constituencies of opposition colleagues. I'm NRF, when I was NRF. But I ensure that I don't even talk about a colleague. I can talk about my party, but I don't talk about a colleague, because when it comes to issues of colleagues here, we are all endangered species. In all this we are doing, if the thinking is that some are going to come out clean and others dirty, I can tell you we are all in trouble. If we are to sink, we shall sink together. So, the State of the Nation address, and I've made a ruling on this. I don't want to proceed with it. The State of the Nation address, which we are going to give priority very soon, is covering all issues which we are talking about. Honorable colleagues, I request you that we reduce on the temperature in the House, and we first focus on this. We constitute the leadership of committees. Tomorrow we finish our business committee meeting, and we bring State of the Nation address, and we debate in full all these issues. I request you, and so I have.
And read for us the attendant laws. I was really pleased and very happy. I now invite your attention, Mr. Speaker, sir, to the national objectives and direct principle of state policy. And specifically, I want to go to principle number 26, accountability. They are short, I would like to read them. The first one says, all public offices shall be held in trust for the people. The second says, all persons placed in positions of leadership and responsibility shall in their work be answerable to the people. The third one says, all lawful measures shall be taken to expose, combat, eradicate corruption and abuse and misuse of power by those holding political and other public offices. This is the command of the Constitution that you, Mr. Speaker, you swore by in the oath for the office of the Speaker. All of us here, members of Parliament, we swore by it. So I rarely thank the President, but I must thank him because recently, despite being the first citizen, he was driving around and people questioned him to provide answers by virtue of holding the office as a leader, as a political leader. Although his response was not satisfactory to me. When he said, in Kalerwe, you don't have power because you voted for Noob. But at least he answered. At least he answered. That shows that if the president can humble himself and answer and be accountable, why are other political holders of offices in this country so adamant to the level that even the constitutional right of a member of parliament to express themselves, an attempt is made to curtail that? We had to fight. As a member of parliament, we have to fight and struggle to be heard on this floor of parliament. Mr. Speaker, my guidance, the guidance I'm seeking from you is that as political leaders of parliament, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the 4 commissioners of Parliament, first, before we go outside, there are questions that have been asked by virtue of the political offices that we hold. Ugandans want those answers. That is why people were marching to come and get the answers from Parliament, because we, the representatives, cannot give them the answers they want. We are being accused as Parliament that we are corrupt. I'm an MP, I am not corrupt. In fact, I don't know Luganda, but this one hurt me a lot. When I was moving around and I saw people pointing at me, calling me Owechitiwa, I thought it was something nice. Later I was told it means you're a thief. I am not. I'm not.
Order, honorable colleagues, let's listen to Honorable Jonathan. So, let's listen to Steve Honorable Jonathan.
So, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I'm just concluding. I'll give information to you later. Let me conclude on this serious matter. All I am requesting,
Honorable Jonathan, you're protected.
all I am requesting is that as people who are holding offices in trust of the people, can we take an initiative to explain to the people of Uganda the questions they ask of us even before they take the drastic step of coming to the streets? Because the situation that happened today, most of you, the inconvenience that I had to pass through as a member of parliament to come to do my constitutional duty in office was too much. And we were being harassed. Even some of us who left our IDs, the parliament IDs, it took time for us to be verified to come here. I don't want to go through that every day when I come to work here. So I ask you, Mr. Speaker, that when you retreat to your chambers, think through, and all the leaders, and provide answers. If you have been accused of A, please try to provide an answer. We don't want Ugandans to come. They are already saying if they cannot access us here in this parliament, they will go to our homes. I cannot take that for granted. Me, I don't have a police officer. I don't have security. Many of you have security, combat what I don't have. I move as I am here. And my home, nobody has visited. I don't want to be accused of being part of the loot, part of the corruption. Each and every person accused should answer in line with the provision of this constitution. And if it may please you, Mr. Speaker, lastly, we have been struggling to bring business on the order paper of this parliament to discuss this matter. To the extent that colleagues are moving, running away, and yet you can use your discretion as a responsive leader and say, I have seen you struggle. Why must you raise signatures to come and discuss issues of corruption? Why? Why must people be raising signatures? You can respond and say, as a leader of this house, I have decided that this matter is so urgent that we can allow it to be discussed so that we don't go. I beg to submit, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.